know him as Vincent Chase from the HBO show Entourage, but that character is just the tip of the iceberg. He's also a filmmaker, musician, and passionate about sustainable living. Please welcome Adrian Grenier. That's like the Oprah moment.
Ba-boom, ba-da-boom.
Dun, dun. All right, let's start off. Teenage Paparazzi. It's living on beyond the documentary, which I think is so cool. You always come up with these just crazy fun projects.
Yeah, it continues. Actually, the fundamental purpose of the film was to sort of start a conversation about, well, celebrity obsession, trying to make sense of my role on Entourage, but also media in general, and all the images and technology that bombards us every day. So yeah, I started a tour with the film to go talk to kids.
So what inspired that originally? Why was it, you know, like usually you're done with a project and you just move on to something else, so why create a tour around it?
Well, because it was starting conversations, and the conversations were actually where all the wisdom was coming. You know, just sitting in a theater and then leaving and being done with it, you hit a wall. But in this case, I get to talk to kids, and they actually share a lot of their very unique understanding of what it means to be growing up with all these images.
Why do you think it hit a nerve with teens and kids?
Well, because they're growing up. They're the first digital natives.
Yeah.
They're growing up from the time they're born with technology. I mean, I grew up, there wasn't the internet.
No, we won't age ourselves,
yeah.
But Facebook was not around.
We're on live stream.
We
on the
are,
internet.
we're live streaming right now.
You know, there was a time when my mom, I remember she came home, she was excited because she got one of those long cords.
Yeah.
It was like the 20-foot cord, and then she could walk around the house, you know, and talk on the phone without having to be stuck in one place. And now you can walk down the street, and, you know, and images are popping up on your screen, and you know, it's definitely a unique experience for these kids, and I think we need to just start talking about how they can utilize it and the power that they have to you know, create stories and communicate. And it's the power's in their hands.
Well, it's interesting that you went from, you know, someone that could be paparazzi, from taking advantage of that power possibly, and using it sometimes for negativity or to hurt people, to, oh, you could be empowered by it.
Exactly. Well, it's also about responsibility.
Yeah.
Recognizing your power and then taking responsibility for it. Because I think a lot of times kids don't recognize, I mean, with all the bullying happening online, people don't recognize that what they do actually has an effect.
Now, you were also raising money for this youth empowerment tour, as you like to call it, which is, I love that title, on Indiegogo. Yeah. So why did you decide to crowdsource the funds for this?
Well, it makes sense. I mean, it's about, the film is about sort of coming together with your community and your people, and I think it's great that you can, on the internet, you know, find people who appreciate what you're doing and share ideas, and everybody contribute to an idea to see it come to life.
And you're going to be going to how many cities, or what's the plan with this? If they go to Indiegogo.com, what can they get by donating?
Well, Indiegogo.com, Empowerment Tour, and or they can go to teenagepaparazzi.com, just click the button. We're basically trying to take the film and the Empowerment Tour, which is not just the film, it's the film, but a lot of artists have also done pieces that reflect ideas in the film. So Banksy and Shepard Fairey and Tim Kent have created pieces. So the film, the art, me, some guest speakers and experts in the field come and talk to the kids, and we're hoping to reach 80 schools.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
That's cool though. And now you have also the Reckless app that people can connect to what's going on. And you recently launched that. So tell me how that, you know, continues to tell this story.
It's about direct communication, you know, and realizing, I mean, as an independent filmmaker, I realized that I'm no longer beholden to the big studios to connect and distribute my messages, my ideas, my stories, my films. I can give it to the audience directly, and that's why the app was created, is a direct connection. And in fact, within the app, there's a section where we share all of the virtual snapshots that I take with every audience that we meet on the tour. So with every audience, we take one big picture together with individual pictures, and then we collage it together, and you can see that in the app.
Very cool, very creative. Now we're getting a lot of questions online. So we're going to ask some questions right now. So thanks so much for sending them in. Keep on tweeting us at What's Trending Right Now. From Facebook, Stefano April, who asks, how is he using social media to promote sustainability and eco-friendly products? Specific tips to build a green image for your brand.
Yeah, just another example of, you know, getting out the message and connecting with like-minded people. You know, Shift.com was a website that we created because for so long I'd been emailing different ideas of sustainability, and oh, did you see this? This is so cool, you know, and you know, sustainable ideas of the future with friends, you know, one-to-one. You get an email and you're like, oh yeah, that's cool, and it's gone, done. With the internet now, it's a community of people who get to share those ideas and also contribute their own. So it's an important, awesome, amazing,
so find the communities, take what you're passionate about, and the communities will find you and you'll find the communities.
Yep.
Now Richard Horgan asks, would love to get the update on his sustainable wine efforts.
I love that so many
Sorry, we're getting, I mean, we have to ask because they want to know.
It's great that you know, people are starting to get excited about the sustainable messages. Yes, there's a wine, and we're showing that, you know, sustainability doesn't have to be so square. You know, you can have a good time, you can have a nice glass of wine, and actually wine can be a great tool to, you know, sit and converse and explore ideas as well. You know, and it's important that we communicate a lot about, you know, our future and brainstorm, so to speak, about how we're going to get ourselves out of this environmental mess.
Definitely. Now from Twitter, Sherilyn McCull says, I noticed you've been super active on Google+. What's your take on that platform?
Well, you know, I think every time there's a new platform, you got to try it out. You know, give it a fair shot. Get your feet wet? Yeah. You know, and see how it works. And you know, it's important to, I think, dabble in all of them because they all have their own sort of strong points. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure it creates a deeper connection with the fans, and it cuts out that middleman for you, all these social networks.
Well, and a good, healthy competition is important. You know, Facebook can't have the monopoly, otherwise they'll become tyrants, and you know, we don't want that.
We don't want. All right. So, lastly, from Facebook, Raj Rawal asks, Entourage movie. All fans want to know when it's going to happen. It's the fans. I am not asking that. This came from someone else.
Yeah. We're waiting for Doug Ellen. Doug Ellen's got to write a script, and then we're all there.
That's awesome. Yeah. All right. Well, the Empowerment Tour will be happening this fall.
Well, you got to donate.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Go to Indiegogo, donate, get your friends to donate, get your parents to donate.
Get everyone to donate,
yeah.
Make it happen.
And then it'll happen. It's up to us.
There you go. Thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate it and sharing your story. For more, check out teenagepaparazzo.com for information about how you can get involved with the Empowerment Tour and keep up with the always interesting life of Adrian on Twitter at Adrian Grenier.